And we are back at Skin in the Game podcast. How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
What it do?
Where's the horn? No horn?
It's too far.
So, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for Christmas?
Yeah.
I have some gifts I still need to wrap and get a couple little things, but
um,
yeah, I'm all right.
I've done zero shopping.
That was gonna be my next thing.
What about? Oh, so you haven't bought anything?
I have bought zero
Better get
presents.
that cash money. Go to the ATM.
Zero. That's why I took off tomorrow.
I got -5.
Gifts?
I don't even know what to get people, but I'm horrible at that. But
Yeah,
Well.
I'm like, oh, I'm just like my dad, bro. My dad shops Christmas Eve.
that's stressful though.
It is.
It
It is.
is.
It is. It is.
Now I gotta go find my kids a Nintendo Switch last minute, and they're probably all sold
God.
out. So I'm gonna have to go to Pennsylvania some damn where and get them.
Just call before you go.
Yeah,
If you go that way,
Or
get
order online.
some fireworks.
yeah, for New Year's. Hey,
Oh, true. That's true.
after the pod.
All right, cool. So today we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna go over a couple things that most of us, go over in our lives. So first, we're gonna talk about the importance of our environment. We are who we surround ourselves with. Second, self doubt. I know all of us
Yeah.
and a lot of us that are watching, go through that sometimes, and we doubt ourselves. And last but not least, plans of action. Plans of action. So, Yenny, tell me, how has your environment shape your future, shape your decisions? Um, I'm talking about from back childhood. I'm talking about friendships in high school, middle school. I'm also talking about after high school, and what made you what made you say, hey, I need to change my environment, I need to be surrounded by more positive people.
Okay. Hopefully, I don't forget all these. Um, when I was little, in a positive way that the environment influenced me was they all like lit me up, right? They would be like, "Wow, Jenny, you're so amazing at this, and you're so fun, and you're so this." And I was a little kid, like toddler, that kind of thing. So I feel like that was a positive way that my environment uplifted me. And then when you take it to behind closed doors, there was the other side of my mother not recognizing me, not telling me things to praise me. So
Mhm.
that hurt me. So I got like the outsiders to build me up, but then I had inside my home where they didn't reciprocate those types of feelings. So that bothered me. That got in my head. I'll never forget the moment I was dancing with my mom and she was like, "You don't know how to dance?" And I will tell you to this day, it's in my head. It lives rent free in my head that I don't know how to dance. So for real. And I like second guess myself and all this stuff. So that's why I say it's so important to be mindful of the environment because it can affect you on a deeper level depending on the people. Um let's see, when I was in high school, that kind of environment, I think it was pretty easy. It wasn't like I didn't get in a lot of trouble and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
I was always scared of my mom, so I didn't try to do those things. Even though I skipped school and she caught me once, but I skipped many times, but she caught me once. um and then I would say like the most impactful thing for environment for me has been the last decade of being in an environment where I was very much myself in the beginning, and then somehow as time progressed, I saw like I didn't know who I was anymore. And what I noticed that created was um not only did I appear to be a different person on the exterior, but I also felt like a different person and I felt incredibly unhappy, incredibly like miserable is really the word.
Mm.
Because it's like I deny my soul what it wants over and over and over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And over time it's like that's where depression really grows when you just keep denying yourself what yourself desires, right? Like if
Mhm.
you say, I really love those long baths, those steam showers. But
Yeah.
you keep
Mhm.
saying, nah, I'm too busy. I got to do this estimate. I'm too busy. And then you just
Mhm.
do a quick shower. That's going to eventually eat you up a little bit. So imagine like many things in your life that you give up the things you want to do because you're taking care of other people or because you're being self-sacrificial.
Mhm.
And it started, I noticed that I was like becoming an angrier person.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't feel like doing anything good for myself anymore. Self sabotage was like on the highest it's ever been type
Mhm.
of thing.
Mhm.
So I just really was like, who is this person?
Mhm.
And I had to really reevaluate all these things
Mhm.
because people that have known me for a long time were like, we don't even know you. Like, what's going on? And that was like a very hard thing for me to like break down every single thing, the structure of my life. Um, but once I finally was able to see it for what it was and be in the right environment, like with these guys and everything else, it's been a beautiful thing. Like really getting to see yourself flourish and get the kind of love you need from the kind of people that are your people is big, very big.
Powerful. I love
Yeah.
it.
That was good. That was good.
That was good. Good.
But yeah, that like she went into when you were a kid, so I'm about to do the same. You know what I
Mhm,
mean?
mhm,
Because I feel like the environment makes you for who you are today, good and bad.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because imagine if you started out with a good environment as a kid, and then you're in a good environment now. Like, where do you think your mental would be? I don't think is gonna be all positive. You gotta have those like Joe Rogan says, like a lot of people, it could be athletes, it could be lawyers, it could be famous people, actresses, whatever. A lot of them been through some hard shit in their life, and that's what made them them. Like
mhm.
PBD, he been through a lot of shit. He was in the military, he was working at the gym, he was broke. Something about his dad, I forgot where he was. That's where I think his dad had cancer or
No, no,
something.
no.
No,
Heart attack.
heart attack. Yeah,
He
heart
had two.
attack too. Yeah, and then that's when like boom, and then next look at him now. He's a
Mhm.
billionaire. For me, when I was a kid, I don't remember much. You know what I'm saying? But I do remember my dad always being hard on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll tell me stop being lazy, da da da
Mhm.
da. Like he was just super hard on me. And at that time, when I was a kid, of course, it affected me because I used to like go to my room and cry, and I'm like, why is my dad being so mean to me?
Yeah, because you need
Like,
love at that age.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I
Of
understand, you
course.
know what I'm saying. But I understand he was a kid too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But that made me like who I am today too. It's just like he never complimented me either. Even it hurt him today. I demoed, I installed the shower and everything by myself, no one's help in 2 days.
Nice.
I finished today, and they were doing something else in the same apartment, but I was just like, leave me alone. I'm doing this. Just stay out of it because you're only negative. But then finally, yo, like this is the first. Today was the first time in a long time he complimented me. You know
Aw.
what I'm saying? So him being so hard on me and never giving me compliments, when he did give a compliment, it meant something. I don't know if you know some people that are always complimenting you, and yeah, it feels good, but it kind of doesn't. Feels like
It doesn't have the same effect as a person
yeah,
who never
yeah. He
compliments you
never
because
compliments
it
you.
takes them a lot to be able to
Yeah.
compliment you.
Yeah, so I grew up in that type of environment from all my family members too. Like they were hard. And obviously the whole prison thing.
Mhm.
And then, be coming out with my dad again, that's like my right hand man, you know what I mean? Even though he boogazy, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. If he ever sees this one day, you know what we talking about.
Yeah, he definitely knows.
But yeah, so and that made me who I am now, but also my friends. You gotta. I love this environment right now that we got going on.
Mhm.
But I love my friends, my hood friends too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have a little some of that too.
Gotta
You
have
know what I
all the
mean? It's
flavors.
like balance. It's like we had a conversation earlier. Remember, never forget where you come from,
Yep.
because as soon as you forget where you come from, you're gonna lose touch with reality.
Yep.
Yep.
And the environment that you keep around you is gonna keep reminding you and making you who you are. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I think the last 2 years since since Corona happened, the pandemic and all that, um, I think that's where my new me started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, the environment I keep is, who's gonna make me. And eventually, Slim was in my life. He's always positive. Even Berto, he's always positive. The church, both of them used to tag team me on church because I was an atheist. I was a go hard atheist.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
always had that, I never wanted to admit to him or whatever. But anyways, and then I meet you and the people you brought me around and the people I met, in PHP, and also like other people that have been a positive influence in my life. Is just
Liz.
like, yeah, Liz too. Shout out Liz, you was here
Whoop,
last
whoop.
week. And just all that is just making me who I am. And I'm just like, yo, and people already told me last week, they were like, yo, you talk different, you carry yourself different now. It feels like you have more confidence. You know what you're talking about. Before, I used to be so shy to talk to people about taxes because I'm like, oh, they probably just think I'm, Toro from Chirilawa, don't know shit. You know what I mean? So I just kept all the game to myself.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know what I mean? But now that I'm breaking out of that, yo, I can carry conversations with millionaires. You know what I'm saying? With customers with big ass houses that we're not supposed to have nothing in common.
Mhm.
When I go in to a situation, before I used to be like, man, I'm covered up in tattoos. I don't know, you know, I was not confident. My self esteem was low. I thought people were judging me. Now I go in there with a big ass smile and confident, my head up high. Remember, I told you guys I went to go do an estimate where I thought I was wasting my time because there was 5 other contractors there,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and then I was the only one that kept my cool and smiled and was patient with the customer and da da da. I ended up getting the job. Everybody else bit the dust.
Let's go, baby.
Personality is gonna outwin a lot of times.
Yeah. So and she told me straight up I wasn't the cheapest one, but she still went with us because of my patience and
Mhm.
all that. Just like Liz said, I had the best interest in the client. You know what I
Mhm. They can feel that. They can
mean?
feel
Yeah.
that
But
for
what
sure.
about you, dog?
Before that, I got one question for you. So, how did it make you feel that your dad complimented you like that today?
Oh, guards up.
Like you
My
were
guard
like,
was up. Like I felt good. We were in the car and he told me that. And I was just like, man, I don't need your compliment. I know I did good. I know I did good. You ain't gotta tell me.
That's your
You ain't
ego,
gotta
like
tell me.
being like, if you
But
got something fucked up to say, I'm ready for you.
yeah, but I was just like nudging, our helper. I was nudging them because I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I was just talking shit.
Yeah, yeah.
but you still didn't answer my question.
How did it make me feel?
like deep inside?
Okay, like I didn't let him know how it made me feel,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like it made me feel good. Like, yeah,
Yeah, the inner child is like, oh yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Big
Good.
ass smile on my
I know
face.
that's how I feel when my mom says anything nice to me.
I love it. All right. So for me, environment, like I said, my mom will always tell me, you are who you surround yourself with. I was like, man, I'm I make my own decisions. I make my own
Mhm.
decisions. And then I started when it comes down to childhood, obviously my entrepreneurship mindset and me being interested in entrepreneurship, obviously because of my dad, we spoke about this. Values and principles were installed by my family, both dad and mom, and I'm grateful for that. So that made me. I feel like if it wasn't for that, I would have been a bad person, like a bad person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you needed more guidance, but luckily you got good
Yeah,
guidance.
yeah. So I got the foundation built.
Mhm.
So for the future, even though I made stupid decisions, guess what? I remember that the foundations that were installed, right? So
Instilled.
instilled. Just got checked. Thank you. No, no, no. By the way, I did ask. I was like, hey, 2022, my vocabulary game is gonna go up.
2023.
Oh shoot, I'm tripping, man.
Keep correct, my
It's
girl.
okay. It's okay. That's why you
Damn.
have your team to keep you, you know.
On check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
like my dad.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
he's
it.
not a insecure guy. He's
I
not gonna
appreciate
go
it.
crying in the corner
I
later.
appreciate it. I'm like,
He's dying inside. It's like, no, go ahead, man.
so one thing that environment made me do when I was middle school, end of middle school, high school, it made me evolve because obviously, I came from Paraguay. I used to look different, dress different. I spoke no English. I dressed different. Haircuts was different. Everything was different.
Fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the boat, fresh off the airplane. And you know, I'm glad that I was in that environment because it made me evolve and it made me pivot. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm,
And that's one thing that, and I was able to fit in because not everybody can do that.
mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm.
And I was able to fit in, and I used to hang out, with shout out friends from Chirilawa, and
SSC, say no.
you know what I mean. And I was able to, hang out, but I never got too into it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
cool, but I was like,
You
nah.
wasn't from
You were
there,
still
so
consciously
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
participating.
yeah, 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 yeah. But I'm like, you know what? All right, man, I'm about to.
yeah. But
I felt
you,
like,
my fault. But you had that timeout moment, like you could remove
yeah,
yourself
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah,
that
yeah, absolutely.
environment.
Yeah, because I lived in the West Side. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but then so that was around high school, middle school, right? High school, and then graduating. I don't know, man. Since I remember being a kid, and I would watch my cousins, my older cousins, go out. I'm like, man, I can't wait till I go out. I'm gonna dress
Me
up.
too.
I'm gonna party. You know what I mean? Like I used to see myself a certain way, right? So that happened, man. Went ham for 10 years, and I don't know why I was hung out with older people.
Mhm.
And one thing led to another, and then I was hanging out with a crowd. I'm like, no, and I made stupid decisions, but at the end of the day, I always was conscious about, man, that lady gonna whoop my ass if I do something too stupid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I was always like, you know what I mean, checking myself. Um, and then when when I realized was when the first time I went to a PHP office and I was like, why is everybody so positive, man? Why is everybody like high
It
energy?
feels uncomfortable, right?
Because guess what?
Yeah.
My environment was very negative. It was very like fear based. It was like when it came to work and
Pessimistic.
yeah, and also it wasn't like uplifting. Hey, let's read this book and that. I'm like reading. I don't read. When someone told me, I forgot who it was in the PHP office, they were like, we have a book of the month. What? I don't read. You know what I mean? But then being around, going to these events, getting training, being around people like Alejandro, being around people like Greg, we were all growing. And then I got introduced to Chris Hart. My, it was a paradigm shift. It was a paradigm shift. And now I always tell you guys, we're gonna build a community of people that want to be part of it. We're not gonna drag anyone, but whoever want to be part of it, man, we're here to empower. We're here to, you know,
Improve people's lives. And obviously they're taking the driver's seat. But
absolutely. So that's my intake
Yeah.
on environment. So
We're here to improve our lives too, you know.
mhm. All right. So next we're gonna talk about self-doubt, that thing that riddles us and is like, oh, should I do this? Should I call this girl? Should I apply for this job? Should I quit my job and start this new thing? And the answer is do it. All right? Do it.
Now.
I'm serious. Because
do it.
that little voice that is like, nah, you're not good enough. Nah, you don't have enough money saved. Nah, man. That's the haters that have infiltrated your brain and they're living rent free in there. You got to be like, no, no matter what, I'm still going to do this. And that's why environment matters, because when you have your self doubt, you need people to be like, man, post that video, man. You look good. Or wear that outfit. Like, so what? Come do that combination. Be unique. Be yourself. You need people to encourage you to be yourself because we're all unique. That's how God made us all. And we haven't even tapped into what that means.
Amen.
Yeah, I suffer from a lot of self doubt, yo. It's
I
just
mean,
like, but you were right. Like, you need an environment to, steer you to, like, right, like earlier today when I was like, oh, I'm such a dumbass, and you were like, yo, don't say that about yourself. And I'm starting. I'm like
it's the little
slowly.
things.
It's not there yet, but slowly I'm starting to get it. Why?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Because you need that confidence when you're telling your brain, oh, you're dumb, oh, you're fat, oh, you're ugly. Is like
mm-hmm,
is
mm-hmm.
in
It's
there.
going to believe what you say because you're the one in control and you're literally talking to your inner child like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'll admit it, when I went first to the office, I was like, yo, I could do this, I could do this. And then when things start going a little bit wrong, and then you start self-doubt, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
can I really do this? But in all reality is, you could do it. Other people are gonna get there faster than you are, but you could do it. Everybody's time is unique. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Um, what I try to say to myself to keep myself kind of in check, calibrated, is if you have an urge to do something, that urge was already in you and it just wants to come out, right? So don't ignore that. And then the little voices that are the self doubt is just the stuff that has been created over time. Ignore that. But seriously, if you feel artistic, you never know. You could be the freaking biggest artist to come to be. But
Yeah, it's like when you told me about the love sign. I
mm-hmm,
don't know if you talked to Oscar about it.
not yet.
Not yet. Well, you want to explain it real quick?
Yeah, so him and I have construction companies. So for a while I've been wanting to get into the either DC, Arlington or something like that community wise so I can get my foot in there, right? To say, "Hey, I designed for this county or for this state." So then today I was talking to him and I was like, "There's over 200 something love signs in Virginia. Why don't we construct our own and we say sponsored by him and I's company or we could say skin in the game or whatever or all of it
Mhm.
and we're there is like us taking control to build our dream instead of oh hopefully one day DC I can get a contract with them to do all the artwork on the sidewalks or something.
Mm.
No, we're going to get them to look at us and we're
Mm.
going to erect this love sign and watch things are going to come.
Yeah, and for a minute, like back to self doubt, when you told me that at that split second, I was just like, what? Really? Like what? What's the
Mm.
whole purpose? In my head, when your first initial thoughts
Yeah.
get there, and then you kind of let it marinate, and then I was like, you know what? We could do that, and it's a good look. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so
coming soon, probably in the spring.
I got a question for you. So, have you ever thought about processing self doubt? Like, if something happens, you know, maybe calling me or calling her and have a process it and be like, look, man, I'm going through, I'm thinking this right now. Um, you know, I'm having trouble making this decision because I feel like this, and that. I feel like it's not going to happen. Have you ever thought about that?
before, yes, a lot, but now I just be like, shut your bitch ass up and do it, like straight up.
That's good that you can talk yourself into like getting it together. But I
Yeah,
I
like I
love
like
this.
your suggestion because it offers like a community type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it goes back to the environment because you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be asking the naysayers,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, I'm having trouble, like you were saying last
Mm-hmm.
time. Hey, I'm dealing with anxiety, and your friend was like, oh, let's go get fucked up. So
Mm-hmm.
that matters, you
yeah.
know? Um sorry, brain fart.
No, it's all good.
But yeah.
So yeah, so it does matter, and I would trust and believe me that if I had self doubt that I can't get out of or whatever, I would hit y'all up because y'all my go to people for that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna hit up such and such and talk about my problems because I know such and such doesn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? But that's up to y'all. Like you have to like realize who wants the best for you, who has
Your
the
best
best
interest.
intentions, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, for
Mm-hmm.
you. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Because you could still be friends with somebody that doesn't have the best intentions for you, but you got to know the limits,
Or
boundaries.
they can say they have the best intentions for you, but their actions don't
Yeah,
show that.
Yep.
So
exactly.
be
Yep.
sharp.
Amen. Amen. So I asked that question because for the longest I used to think, man, having a mentor, that's stupid. Like that positive, like you know what I mean. And until I started to take advantage of it. So every time I have, self doubt or I want to process something, who do I call? I call Chris Hart. I'll call Chris Hart and I'm like, Chris, how you doing, man? Everything good? Blah blah blah. Hey man, I need. I was telling him I need some counsel.
Mhm.
He's all right. So then, I'm like, hey man, I'm going through this in my mindset. I'm thinking this, um, and I feel like if I do this, it's gonna be that, man. Da 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 da. Da. And I just lay it out, and then I explain to him everything. Transparency, full transparency. You know what I mean? And he would tell me, um, he's like, okay, okay. So he was like, I understand how you feel, boom, 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 boom. And that's so it's amazing to be able to do that. um I remember there was a time in my business and I was like, hey man, I'm going through this and I feel like I'm stuck and I'm not growing and I feel, you know I, I'm just not executing.
Like plateauing.
Yeah, no, 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 I wasn't executing.
Oh, okay.
Like I was just fear based, and
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
I don't even know how to explain it to you. And it was just a funk, and I didn't have sidelines, you know what I mean, people that are pretty much on the same level as me, that I can have these conversations that we have now, or I wouldn't trust them enough to be, because with you guys, I'm 100, I'm 100% transparent. Like
Hmm.
I don't,
Yeah, you don't BS about
no, no, no,
nothing.
no, for what?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what I
there's
mean?
no need here.
So I remember one time he was like, hey man, so have you ever thought about your past? Have you thought about not your past, but your past generations? Like your father, how was his childhood? What did he go through? What about your grandmother? What about your grandpa? What about your great grandpa? What about what they went through? And then I made a phone call to my grandma and my dad, and I was like, hey, so tell me a little bit more about your childhood. And they were like, they loved it, and they didn't even ask me. They were like, they went through this and that and this and that. And then that kind of put a fire in me. And I'm like, man, we are so blessed to be where we are. And sometimes we forget to be grateful for what we have and where we are and everything. And I was like, thank you, Chris, man, I appreciate that. And I was just like, boom, instant, just like fire,
Hmm.
fire. And that's why I asked, do you think about processing stuff? And that's super important, man. That's super important.
Yeah, and it's nice to have people in your life that care enough to sit there with you and do that with you. My mic is going in and out, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so yeah.
So for me, that's my input for self doubt. I actually definitely have self doubt, but I always either go with us or I go like Greg or Arturo or Chris, and I'm
Yeah.
like, process things, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Boom, move on to the next. Move on
Yeah.
to
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's good to ask the same question to like four different people that you trust, man, because
absolutely.
everybody's gonna give you different
Exactly.
insight. And you might not like say you're my go-to guy and
Mhm,
you tell me something and it doesn't sit right with me.
mhm.
I don't think it's right, but I don't got nobody else to talk to. You know what I'm saying? That's also like a negative too, is like, have like I'm sure you have conversations with them and Chris, and I'm sure they do too. And just cause
Oh, absolutely.
just cause he's your mentor, he has a mentor too.
PBD,
Yeah.
Matt Zapala.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like it's kind of like, I see you as a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Don't cry. Don't cry.
A lot of wisdom.
It's okay. Give him a hug. Give him a
That's how Toro hugs. I mean, his
Oh
dad
yeah,
hugs him.
Yeah. I'm not a
the
hugger.
tap.
Yeah.
I just be like,
Man, we're gonna start hugging him.
but yeah.
All right, cool. Plans of action.
So basically, we're gonna bring it all full circle here.
Plans of action. So, for when it comes down to 2023, you know, what did I say to you guys? I was like, you know what year it is? It's 23. Who was 23? It's Michael Jordan. So the question is, are you gonna become the Michael Jordan of your life, or just gonna keep being the you, or are you gonna make a
Or
decision
are
to
you just
become?
gonna?
You're gonna make a decision to become the person that you were meant to be. But it starts with decisions and getting uncomfortable. So, environment wise, um, I was talking to the team on what was it, Tuesday. I was in Chris's office, and I told Chris, and I told everyone, I was like, I'm the type of person that friendly. I talk to everyone, but deep inside, I'm an introvert, and sometimes I kind of pull myself away. So I made a declaration that I'm gonna get more involved with the team in SOS and PHP, build new relationships, and just be out there, be serve more, be able to serve more our team and build that friendship, that partnership, and just also talked because for the longest I had this mindset. I want to be I want to be surrounded by a certain type of person, a mentality, and all that. But watching the PBD podcast yesterday, I got a huge like wake up
A
call.
wake up call.
And I told you about that. I was like, I need to be more involved with everybody, have conversations with everybody,
Everybody.
not just be like, oh man, surround yourself with people you want to be like. Yeah, absolutely. But also you gotta be involved in the community. You gotta be involved and talk to everybody and get perspective from everybody so we
Yeah.
don't forget where we come from. So that's my plan of action when it comes to environment for 2023 Jordan year.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. My plan of action is essentially to push myself every time I feel uncomfortable to just do it because I've been holding back for a decade essentially or longer. And that hasn't gotten me to where I want to be. So those little moments of self-doubt where I'm like, should I do this? I'm just going to rip the band-aid. And I've been practicing. You don't have to start in 2023. Start now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, bro. That's a
You
big
passing the blunt already?
drop in the bucket.
No, that was
All right,
that was good. That was good.
for me, plans of action, man. Look, I've been doing the same thing since for 10 years. 10 years, yeah, 10 years. September was 10 years that I've been free, and I've been trying to like constantly I see it as like a journeyman course or like a beginner's course because I'm just like, all right, I'm 10 years in the game, bruh. 10 years in the game, just like you. 10
Mhm.
years in the game. It's time to wake up and do something.
Kick it up a notch.
In 2019, 2018, like, yeah, I was getting jobs, I was getting boom, 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 whatever, but it didn't feel like nothing to me. Like I was getting money. I was, in 2019, I made more money than I did this year. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't live comfortable. I still live paycheck to paycheck, which is wild.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I had no plans of action. Instead, you know what I would do? I would get drunk. At that time, I don't think I smoked weed yet, but I would get drunk and I would just basically beat myself up, like, oh, they're so lucky. They
Mm,
get $1 million contracts. They're
mm.
so lucky. That was my mindset. That was back when I was a liberal too.
When he was lost, guys, when he was lost.
Hey,
We've
Yeah.
all been
I
there.
was a liberal
I was
too.
atheist. I was a liberal. I was a lot of things.
Yeah, and there was no hope in me. There was nothing. The only thing there was waking up.
I'm
If
not
you
laughing
guys
at
can
that. I'm
sponsor
I
I'm
him
know.
not
for
I'm not laughing at that.
25 cents a month.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the fact that
Yeah, I
we're all
said,
like, I used
yeah,
to be a
we
liberal.
used to be a liberal. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, there was a lot of self-doubt. I wasn't around the right environment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had low self-esteem. I didn't think I could do it. Remember, I said I didn't feel right talking to these millionaires and talking to them
Hmm.
about work or whatever,
Yeah, they were
because
intimidating a little
they were
bit.
intimidating. Even people that we know that are in the same industry as us, I felt intimidated by shit like that. Like there was
Hmm.
just, I was just, I don't know what happened in 2020 was literally the year 20, the end of 2019, like mid 2019. That's when it was like, bloom, you gotta do something, bro. Like, how are you just gonna sit here and be like, this man is lucky when you don't know what the hell that man did to get that?
And the fact that you thought of it that way said that you were evolving.
Yeah, but it took some time because I was still going through that self doubt, and you know, for everybody that's going through something, it's not gonna happen overnight, bro.
No,
It's not
years.
gonna happen overnight. This is literally me in the making 2.5 years. So the Jordan year, like you said, it's our Jordan year. We got a plan. What are we doing? We're talking. We're conversating. We have meetings that you guys don't even know about, and
Hmm.
we're sitting
Crucial
steady,
meetings.
crucial
Hmm.
conversations.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When there's something she does that we don't like, we let her know. When there's something he does that we don't like, we let him know. Yeah, I say he she. That's why he looked
I
like
have.
that. And same thing
Mhm.
with me. Like yo, there's been some times when you like, yo, like you said, I gotten better on the whole. I used to be on joke time all the time. Now I'm not. You know what I mean? Who's the one that made me aware of that was you. And people just need to learn how to take constructive criticism. If you want this, you got to plan. You got to have a plan of action. You know what I'm saying? Just change the way you think, first of all, and just have it all written out, just like you said.
And I would also say, why, whenever you guys ask me, what is your goal? What is this? I always say, like, very small things, because it's those little small things
Mhm.
every day that really matter.
Yeah.
Like keeping a promise of saying, you know what, I'm going to create a template for X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And even though it's something that may feel annoying to you because you haven't done it thus far, something inside you is like, do this because I know this is going to help us with the next step
Yeah.
of your bigger goal, which is to evolve. But if you can't do this little thing here, how are we going to evolve?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And one thing too that I learned from PBD, I know they're probably like, oh my god, PBD, but
Y'all should listen to him
They're going
too.
to sponsor
yeah,
us soon, guys.
one day.
Y'all should listen to people.
And he was like, yo, if in 2022, when you started 2022 and you completed 100% of your goals, then you didn't have high enough standards, you know? And if you completed 0 or 20% of your goals, then you shot too high. He was like, you're supposed to at least hit 80% of your goals, and that'll tell you that you're growing. And then next year, that 20%, you hit that jump next year,
Mhm.
and then you just keep using that. And then
Scaling.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just keep using it, man.
I love it. I love it. How much time you have left?
I think we're doing pretty good.
15.
15 minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah. When it comes to, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I do have self doubt too. I do. I really do. But I was having a conversation with a friend of mine today, and um, whenever I'm not challenging myself, whenever I'm not growing, whenever I'm stagnant, I start to feel my energy, and I don't like using the word depressed, but start to feel low.
You don't feel alive.
I don't feel like,
You feel turned off.
and I
Yeah.
love feeling like, you know,
Good morning, USA.
bro. I still can't say it like him.
He does it so good.
Nah, it's perfect. That's you. That's you. I can't. I'm gonna
You
stop
gotta
trying
sell
to be
that.
you. That's you. So, um, I have to. I have to push myself physically, mentally, and emotionally. I have to. If I don't, I start to feel low, and I start to doubt myself. I start like, man, if I see, let's say, for example, um I'm at a networking event or somewhere and I see someone that's super sharp and I think, man, that person would be perfect for my business. Perfect. But then I'm like, no, they're probably doing well. They're probably like, man, who cares? Find out. Maybe it's not them. Maybe they have a friend that would be
Mhm.
interested. You know what I mean?
Or maybe it could be a new friend of yours.
Absolutely. So it's like also, I was having a conversation with Greg at the Christmas party, and it's like sometimes we have to stop talking to people and be selfish because we want to do something just for us. You know what I mean? Instead of just, hey, just networking in a servant way and meeting friends. And that's another thing that I'm going to work on for self-doubt is like sometimes stop trying to think,
Transactionally.
not transactionally, but how do I see that person versus how does that person see themselves and how can I help them get better or connect them with somebody to do business with. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How can
yeah,
you
it
be of
does.
service? Genuinely be of
Yeah, because
service.
sometimes for the longest, Greg and I would say, man, that person would be perfect for PHP, you know? Even though you can do whatever, but what if it's not for them? What if that person is meant to meet you and do business with you and not with me? And then because of that service, now that person knows what I do.
And
A
you
year or
never
two
know.
later,
Exactly.
he introduced me to somebody that's going to take my business to the next level. So
That's
we have to go more into a
being genuinely, truly, truly genuine, right?
servant and a servant, SOS, sold out servants.
Mhm.
Serve. How can I serve you? How can I help you get better? How can I help you? What can I help you with? What can I help you with? And then go from there.
I
Yeah.
agree. That's a great approach.
Spectrum Dynasty Financial. What's up?
Hey man, don't tell them that's not coming out yet. Hey.
We'll mute that out.
Nah, it's
No,
all
I'm
good.
just
It's all good.
joking.
No. They want to know what that is eventually. We'll tell them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll do the what is it called? The grand opening.
Yeah, the
I know.
grand
Yeah.
opening.
Yeah, it's great. It's gonna
But
be
yeah,
great.
hey, look, like yo, like we got all this decorated. We didn't even like say Merry Christmas to
Yeah,
y'all.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays if you're not into Christmas. As long as you're having a good time with your loved ones, creating memories.
My my Christian friends would be like, Merry Christmas.
There's a video that my sister know, but she just sent it to me. Merry Christmas, Merry
Merry Christmas.
Kryler,
Oh, from
Merry
Plies,
Kryler.
yeah.
No, no,
From
no,
Plies.
no, no, no. There's like a little vine. It was a
Uh
vine. I'm gonna send it to y'all. It's like Merry
Vine.
Kryler. You
Merry
remember that
Kryler.
vine? Is like it was like a real video. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
what are your plans for the holidays?
so for me, I'm going to go to family's house this Saturday because Latinos we
Yeah,
celebrate
yeah, yeah.
Eve. Eve.
Nochebuena, donde se pone bueno la cosa. Tú sabes.
Yeah. So
Ting, 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 ting.
so family, hanging out with family, and
But only for 2 hours or what?
no,
Two and a half.
no. Christmas is different.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
Christmas is
okay, okay.
different. And I'm gonna go to church service, on that afternoon, and then from there go to the family's house. What about you guys?
Um, Christmas Eve, I believe we're going to my compadre's house. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Celebrate a little bit. You know, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I won't be dancing. But on
I saw you
Christmas,
earlier today shaking that thing
when?
with the.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we celebrate Christmas Eve. You know, Christmas Day, we just gonna be home chilling. Probably have the cousins come over,
Mm.
but that's about it.
Play
What
with the
about you?
toys. Going to celebrate on the 24th. Just keeping it light. And on Christmas Day, I'm going to do the white people thing. This year's a little different for me. It's not like
You
before
said the white people thing.
What? I was like, what do you mean by
the
that?
American style Christmas. All right, guys.
Oh, okay, got it, got it, got it.
Cocoa and opening up presents.
Yes, I got my pajamas from Target.
There, I need some pajamas.
You leaving out Christmas cookies on the table for Santa Claus. Oh, question. You're not done.
Yeah, and then probably the rest of Christmas Day, because everybody knows Christmas Day is kind of a little boring sometimes after like you open gifts. Probably go to DC and take the kids to go do something outside. Get them tired.
Fun.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. All right, I got a question for y'all. You first, but matter of fact, let's get his opinion on it first. Since you're not a dad yet.
Let's
or
go.
You might be a dad. You may or may not be a dad.
Chill.
Allegedly. It's like, no. But all right, so if you had a kid, how would you deal with Santa Claus?
I need you to explain a little bit deeper.
Okay. If you had a kid, how would you break it down to them that Santa Claus is real, or would you keep the lie and be like Santa Claus is real?
But how old is a kid?
5 years old.
Scenario.
5 years old.
So think Sebastian.
When you ask me that question, a lot of stuff comes to my head about Christmas and all that. Conspiracy theories about Christmas being, started by the pagans and all that. But I feel like children.
I can't wait for it to be my turn.
Because I want my kids to be different, but at the same time, like I don't want to take that away from them. You know what I mean? So I mean, I would play it like my parents did and just say that Santa Claus real, and until they're like I don't know, I guess 10, 11 years old, and then eventually they'll find out because in school be like Santa Claus is fake.
You let somebody else break
So-
the news to them.
Yeah. So no, not really. I mean, if they ever ask me, I would say, yeah, that's our tradition. That's how we do it. It's not a lie. It's just a tradition. It's just like a fun tradition. I think I will approach where my mindset is right now. That's how I would approach it. What about you?
Well,
Oh man, we don't have enough time. We got to wrap it up. We can't get to. It's like that.
Oh, I was
Yo, that's messed up, bro.
Because she was all like, "I can't wait till it's my turn."
He's good. He gets me all the time. Anyways, I've gone through like all of the lying to my kids about
Mhm.
Santa Claus, and I've been like, nah, there's no Santa Claus. But I'm not like I'm the one buying you these gifts. I'm like, hey, do you really think a fat guy's coming through our house with no chimney? There's no chimney here, bro. Okay. That's my problem a little bit, that I'm too honest sometimes. And the kids are like, what? So
What?
I came full circle to because I saw something online that was like, it's not necessarily a horrible thing, because it's all about the imagination
Mhm.
and their little brains keeping that imaginative nature alive. And then if you dig in deeper into esoteric things, you will find out what Santa Claus really means, what the North Pole really means, and it has something to do with your brain and the colostrum that lives in your spine rising up through to your brain. So it really has some true history to it, but the Christmas that we celebrate and has been commercialized is definitely not that. So all in all, I think I will tell my kids, at this point it's too late. They already know what the deal is. But
Even Sebastian?
let's say I have other kids, right? Or
Even Sebastian?
scratch.
He already knows?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
And I would probably like keep like what he said is pretty rational, I think.
Yeah, he ain't got kids yet though.
Yeah.
But for me, about a couple years ago, so Bella's like 9, so she was about 6 or 7. I was like, yo, I'm about to spoil my kids this year. And, Five Below was, what I'm
That's the
saying?
best.
Dog, I'm not lying. The whole, like half of the living room was filled up like this with toys.
That's fun.
And I'm just like, I can't wait. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they hit me with this bullshit talking about, look what Santa brought us. I said, what?
I work hard for this.
That ain't Santa Claus, girl. That's me right there.
Yo, that's
That's
funny.
me right there. Santa Claus ain't even real, cuz.
Yo,
You're like, I put 5 on it like 500 times.
Yeah.
what'd she say?
And then she was like, at first she tried to act all like, oh my God, I'm surprised. But she knew whole time that,
Oh.
she kind of knew. She was like, oh, I kind of knew Santa Claus wasn't real. Like, the same logic with the chimney and the whole
Yeah,
fat
yeah.
guy and all that. And then she was just like, it's just fun,
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
It's the imagination.
And then Nina, she ain't never gave a damn about Santa Claus. She was scared of Santa Claus. She would
Really?
never. Every single picture we took them. That's why we don't go. Maybe we should have went this year because she's older now and she gotten better about that. But we used to take her to Santa Claus and she used to cry. So she used to hate Santa Claus.
A lot of kids are like, my daughter has a picture. She's like,
That's funny.
I have
Who?
a picture.
Did you?
Yeah.
I have a picture of Nina. And she's literally like, and I was just like, because Maria was trying to get the perfect picture. Her
Yeah.
moms are so effing annoying.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm just
gosh,
like,
yes.
just take the picture how it is. That is epic. That is that's
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Can we leave now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny,
Everybody
man.
has those.
That's funny. That's funny, man. That's a cool story, man. That's a cool story.
Yeah, but anyways, man, y'all got anything else to share with us?
No, I was just gonna close it out by saying, hope that everybody has a nice time with their family or whoever they consider to be their family, and I want you guys to crush it for next year.
Yeah.
Really push yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. We
Yes.
got one more episode before the New Year's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're gonna remind y'all again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about you?
I ain't really got nothing much. Just don't quit on yourself. Just keep doing you. A matter of fact, let me share this quick story. Here in no, actually it wasn't here. Springfield. No, it wasn't Springfield. Pickett Street, Home Depot. Pickett Street, Home Depot in
Yeah.
Alexandria. There was this lady and she was just out there trying to hustle sandwiches. And I told her I'm good. I was in a hurry. I wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
She was like, I have sandwiches de pollo. I have sandwiches de da da da. I'm like, gusta comer $5, and I'm like, I'm good. And she was like, okay, no problema. Y $4, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me buy 2 sandwiches from her, man. I didn't even eat them. You know what I'm saying? I just bought them. I was
Support.
looking for some reason. I was looking for like homeless people to like just boom. I didn't see none, and then I forgot about the sandwiches. Long story short, sandwiches ended up in the trash anyway. But it was. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point of it was, I was like, you know what? Just because she, like you were saying, like she didn't stop. She tried to even negotiate a little. And I'm just like, yo, for everybody that's out there, like, oh my God, I'm broke. I don't know. And you steady there with a 9 to 5 and you're still bitching about your broke. Think about that lady. That lady's out there in the cold hustling sandwiches.
Yep.
Hustling.
Perspective.
Yes. She
Grit.
in her trunk, she had like the little heater joint. All of the sandwiches were even warm, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you have it just stopped. The other day I bought sodas from a lady
Oh yeah.
hustling them on in the medium.
Yeah. That's
You
awesome.
know, who cares? I know who the lady is. I know she's buying them with EBT money. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's her hustle,
Survival.
bro.
So
She's
many
surviving,
people
yeah.
are on
But at least
survival mode.
they thinking entrepreneurially. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yeah, not like some people binge watching their life away and doing horrible drugs. Oh, I'm so miserable. My life sucks.
Yeah.
Everybody's
exactly.
going through a lot of things.
Yes, we all going through something, man. Everybody's going through something, but it's up to you to just wake the fuck up for real.
Yep.
Wake up, man.
Beautiful.
Wake
That
up.
was awesome. That was awesome. I have something a little bit different. That's awesome that you guys said that, but I'm gonna go from a different perspective. Sometimes instead of complaining and just saying, oh, this, that, like you're saying, I always like to ask people this: what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for?
My kids, my family.
There's a billion, oh, not a billion, 1,000 things that we can be grateful for, from
Mhm.
Breathing,
breathe, yes, being
being able to
alive,
walk.
being healthy, not relying on medicine, you know, being able to get work, being able to our, you guys kids to be healthy.
Mhm,
There's so many
Many
different
things, yeah,
things that
to
we
be
can be
grateful.
to be grateful for,
mhm,
and one of the things I'm really grateful for is what we're building right here. I'm very grateful for our friendship, our partnership, and guys, you can have businesses with your friends, but it's not just about the money. Is always remember one thing: is not people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I
Ooh.
and I'm gonna close it with
Bombs.
that.
Boom.
Hold on. All right, man. Everybody, see y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace.